I'm going to do another quick video here. Yesterday I did the water changes on my tanks, and as I was filling it back up I noticed some water down here by my sump on the 300. It was kind of all the way around it, and actually went down under into this shelf a little bit and stuff. So I traced it down. I had a UV sterilizer hanging over the edge here in the sump, and I had a little pump in there taking water from the sump through the UV sterilizer, and then the output went right in front of the intake on one of these pumps, so it would go back into the tank. So the UV sterilizer was leaking. I pulled all that out, and then I actually found another leak in the plumbing from the overflow on the tank itself. It actually wasn't the drain line, it was the refill, the return line. So I had to cut that out last night and make an emergency run to Home Depot. And I'm just, basically this video is to show you how I kept the tank going overnight without the filter running, and hopefully I won't lose my filter. So luckily I have the FX6 running. That's a canister filter that's running directly through the tank. Has nothing to do with the sump. I basically use that more so to pick up the particulate. I'm not using it as a biological filter at all. All my biological stuff happens down there. So I kept that running all night, and I also have a power head here and a couple current pumps in the back here. So those kept water circulating inside the actual tank, and that was enough for the fish. Nobody's sucking up top or anything, so that was quite good. And I also took the pump that was feeding my UV sterilizer, and I put that directly into, it's pouring the water into the overflow, or my tower filter, I guess. It's basically works just like a wet dry filter. So it's feeding that and keeping most of the bacteria alive for the scrubbies it's actually hitting. And I added another one to this side. Basically this one's pumping a little more. I'm not going to pop it open, but it's doing the same thing. So that hopefully is keeping the overflows alive, the bacteria. Pull this out real quick. Here you can see. And I'm not pulling it out far enough, but it is working. There we go. Trying to figure out what that noise is. And you can't even see it, whatever. So yeah, this has kept it alive. I'm waiting for T to get home to help me put the fittings back in. I'm actually simplifying it a little bit. I had hard lines hooking it all up, and I got the flexible spa hose, the flexible PVC. That's the little part in between. That just kind of helped make the corners and stuff better. But it was too many fittings, which every fitting gives you another opportunity for leaks. So I'm going to simplify it this time, going back. I'm going to directly mount this with the barb in the bottom of the bulkhead there, and then I'm just going to run basically the vinyl tubing from this directly back into one of these as well, so I can have some flow adjustment. So basically this is just going to be a barb from one side to the other, and that'll mount up there. I got a clamp that holds it up, and then the return pump will feed directly into this and back up to it. So much less spots for it to leak. I guess building it I wanted to go all fancy and whatnot, but it actually did help me in this part here. I got the disconnect. This is the return line. So I was able to disconnect that and move it out of the way so I could get to the other tubing for the return line. Did I say that one was returned? I'm getting all confused now. Anyways, it's been a long couple days. And hopefully we were able to save the filter. I hope. Well, I know it did. It's good enough. Most of it will survive anyways. It should be enough to keep it going. So once T gets home, she'll help me get that put back in there. She has to hold it from the top so it doesn't turn as I'm turning it. And once we get it all done, I'll turn it back on and do an update, show how it's doing. So hopefully if that ever happens to anybody else, that's how you keep it going. I didn't want to put the PVC cement as well, because I had to cement this fitting into this, and I got the quick dry and everything, but it still said 2 hours, and it was late at night, so I didn't want to risk it. I went ahead and let it cure overnight, so it should be good to go. So we'll give an update in a little bit when she gets home. Later.